After the V shape comes the trickiest one, which is the C. The C requires you to start a little bit below the middle and go backwards in a curve. This one causes kids a lot of problems. They often want to start here, and then they come down and they end up making a fish hook. That's not a C. Or they start here and they go past that line in the middle. So you do have to practice imagining where the middle is, working a little bit farther than where your letter starts, go up and around to make that hook. Make sure you leave that gap. If you don't have that gap, it could end up looking like an O. So again, the letter C, you start a little bit below the imaginary line and a little bit over from the middle of the letter. The C easily becomes an O just by joining the two ends. It can become an A. That's a little trickier because when you make your C, instead of curving up, you want to go straight up as if you were making the U. And then, like you're making the U, hook down to make the tail. O with a curve, A with a straight line and a tail. The A turns into a D by going farther up and down to make the tail. And this helps kids who get letters backwards, like a B and D. A lot of kids have a problem trying to remember which of these is a B and which of these is a D. And the stick and ball method doesn't really help because you're never sure which side to put it on. But the single stroke method is easy because you have the alphabet. A, B, C, D. If you say those together, when you're trying to remember which way the B or the D goes, it'll help you remember which one is the right one. A, B, C, D. The C shape also becomes a G by making the A and then letting it hook down like a J. A shape to G shape. And it becomes a Q by making the A shape, coming down, but snapping up backwards like a bouncing ball. After that, there are a handful of letters which are exceptional. The F starts the same way as the C, but it starts up here, and you go straight down instead of making that curve. The S starts the same way as the C, but you have to double back halfway down and go the other direction. This one's really tricky. Lots of kids make it too small at the top, or too small at the bottom, or they make it all too big because they forgot to double back sooner. So practice that one a lot. The Z gets confused with S a lot. Kids never are quite sure which direction to go. But again, if you remember that you're basing the S off of the C shape, there shouldn't be any confusion, especially when C sounds like S. And not Z, because it's not a Z. So with the Z, make sure you're also paying attention to the fact that Z is straight lines and the S is curved lines, and the C is not straight, it's curved. And then we also have the E, and the E starts in a weird place too. It starts between the imaginary line and the base line, going straight across, and then going backwards like we would do a C. Straight across, and then backwards like we're doing a C. Some kids start too high, some start too low, and some have a real problem with making that cross anywhere near where it's supposed to be. Then the last letter is the X. You start somewhere in the middle and go down on an angle to the bottom line, and then go up somewhere in the middle above where you finished that first line, and go in the other direction down to the bottom again. When you're practicing your single stroke printing, you can do just the basic shapes to get used to them. Make sure they're not too tall, too skinny, starting in the wrong spot, or floating around somewhere they're not supposed to be. Pay attention to the proper height of the letters and how close you're making your letters to each other. And if you practice families of letters, you'll reinforce how they're all connected to make it easier to remember how to shape those letters. One final point about single stroke printing is that if you can do it, then later on, when you're learning how to do handwriting, you'll already know how to make most of the letters, and you really only need to worry about how you connect them. Because you're already used to not taking the pencil off the paper.